Good morning, it's Miss McCorkle. Welcome to theory video number 3. I hope you're enjoying your videos. I know I'm enjoying making them for you. I feel like I'm helping you a little during the week. Even though I can't be with you twice a week, I can come to you through the video. So I hope it's helpful to you. So today we're going to review a little bit about our rhythm that we discussed in video 2. And then we're going to start the bass clef notes as our new video 3 concept. So a little rhythm review, and then we'll begin bass clef. So the last time in our video number 2, we discussed note values, and today we're going to look at a line of music and learn how to write the counts in, observing our time signatures. And so I'll point out to you what that is today. Okay, let's get started. Okay, if you look at the beginning of a line of music, like this top row, I've labeled that number 1 example. It has a time signature of 4/4. Now the main thing you need to remember is always look at the number on the top. And that number on the top is going to let you know how many beats you need in every measure. So we're going to count up to that number, starting with 1 and ending on 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like the conductor, 1, 2, 3, 4. Has a pattern to keep all of the members of the orchestra or the choir or whatever his group might be together. This is the pattern, 1, 2, 3, 4. So today we're going to put those numbers in under our note values so that you can see how to count up to 4 in every measure. Okay, so last time we said quarter notes get 1 beat and half notes get 2 beats. So we've got 4 numbers we've got to put in. So our 1 goes under the first quarter note, our 2 goes under the second because they're 1 beat each, and then our half note gets 2 numbers. It gets the 3rd beat and the 4th beat. Okay, so far we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the next measure is 2 half notes. So that's 2 plus 2. But we write it in starting on beat 1, and we put the second beat as well. And then the next half note is beat 3 and also beat 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then our quarter notes in the next measure, there are 4 of them, so we simply say 1, 2, 3, 4. And our whole note gets all 4 counts. So we say 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's how you write your counts into your music. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and our last example, example number 2, is going to use some 8th notes. And so I'll show you a little bit about how to write in your counts when you're using 8th notes. By the way, I misspelled 8th on your video 2. E-I-G-H-T-H. I left the H out. Sorry. 1 and, because they're partners. 2 and then the half note gets 2 numbers. It gets the 3rd beat and it gets the 4th beat. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Next is a quarter note, so it gets 1 beat. A half note gets 2 numbers. It gets the 2nd beat and the 3rd beat. And the quarter note is our number 4 because it's only 1 beat, 1 number. A half note's 2 numbers, 1st beat and the 2nd beat. Then there's a group of 2 8th notes. So we call the first one the beat, number 3, and then we call the second 8th note an and, a plus sign. And then our 4th quarter note there is beat 4. And our last is a whole note again, and we have all 4 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. Now, if I were going to count this, or clap and count, it would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I just shake on those extra beats. I don't clap them out loud. All right, let me do that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now number 2 should sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we clap on the first beat of the whole note and shake on the extra beats. Okay, so that is our rhythm review. And in your piano pieces, we're going to start writing our counts in so that you can get practice on knowing how to count and how to play using a steady beat. Okay, now let me clear my board and then we're going to start with our bass clef notes. Okay, now most of you, well all of you actually, have had treble clef and bass clef, and you've at least covered the 5-finger position in middle C. So that looks like this. That's your bass clef sign. The dot starts on the 4th line, half of a heart, and then 2 dots above the 4th line and below the 4th line. And that's your middle C, and if your fingers are placed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that should read C, B, A, G, F, because you're going backwards in the alphabet when you go down the keyboard. So those notes are C, B, A, G, F. And here they are on the keyboard. So this is your middle C, B, A, G, F. So left hand, you'll be placing your thumb on middle C, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Those are the notes that we'll be drilling today. C, B, A, G, and F. Okay, now we have talked a little bit about, in most of your lessons, notes can move by steps, skips, or repeats. Okay, make sure you write that down in your notebook. This is how notes can move by steps, skips, or repeats. Now let me give you an example. If we leave C and we go over to A in the bass clef in the left hand, we're leaving out a note. Then we call that a skip. If we leave C and go right next door to B, we call that a step. And if we have C, 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 we call those repeats. Okay? Now let's take a look at a way to figure out where these notes come on the staff. All right, let's get down to the bass clef. Okay, here we go. Now there's your middle C, and if you're going down, you're going backwards in the alphabet. So the note below C with the left hand finger 2 is a B. It goes from B down to A, then down to G, and then down to F. Okay, so we have C, B, A, G, F. Now let's figure a way to quickly identify. All right, the one in the middle between the treble and the bass, that's why it is called middle C. It's between the two, right hand and left hand. So that is your C with the line through it. But when it sits on top of the bass clef, it's letter B. Next door neighbor, a step away from C. Now if it goes to the top line of the bass clef, it's letter A. So far we've covered C, B, and A. Now this is easy. This line down here, the fourth line, remember that's where the bass clef starts with the dot, is always an F. So just memorize that. And then you only have one more note to learn, and that's the top space, and that's letter G. So we've got F on the bottom of the 5 notes we're studying. The one right above it is G in space 4. Top line is A. Then comes your B, and then comes your C with the line through it. So we have C, B, A, G, F. Now you'll need to pull these flashcards out and make sure you're working on them this week. I want you to be able to quickly identify those 5 left-hand middle C position notes, C, B, A, G, F, very quickly. So you need to practice that. Okay? Now let's take a look at a piece of music, and we're going to identify skipping up and skipping down, okay? So if we leave middle C and go down to the top line, a line to a line, we've left out, that's why they put the little X there. You've left out a note. If you leave C and go to A, you're leaving out B. So we call that a skip. Now right hand, if you leave F and go to D, that's also a skip. You've left out E. Right hand uses C, D, E, F, G, and left hand uses C, B, A, G, F. Okay? So let's just take a look at this piece of music and see if we can identify where those skips come. C, now you'll need to name the note, C, E. Is that a step or a skip? It goes from a line to a line, so you're leaving your space out. You've gone from C to E, so you've left out D. That's a skip. Next we have C, E again, so it's also a skip. Next measure, D, which is the space below the staff, goes to the first space on the staff. That's leaving out line 1. So you've left out your E. D to F and back to D. So those are skips, D, F, D. Finger 2, 4, 2. Okay, so far we have fingers 1, 3, 1, 3, 2, 4, 2. And I can tell that by my notes that are in the example on the piece of music. Okay, now left hand, we've talked about today, introducing that left hand, C, B, A, G, F, and we said that top space, 4th finger, is letter G. So if we start on 4 and move up, a skip up, you're going from G to B. You're leaving the A out. The top line is an A. G, B, G, B. And then when we leave B, we go next door, which is a step away. C, C, C. And those 3 C's are called repeats. So we had skips, G to B. We had steps, B to C. And we had repeats, C, C, C. Okay, so that's how notes can move, by steps, skips, or repeats. So this week, make sure you're working on your left hand, C, B, A, G, F, 5-finger position, and your right hand, 5-finger position, C, D, E, F, G, and of course review your lines in the right hand, Every Good Boy Does Fine, and FACE. And before we go, I want you to write these down in your notebook. Okay, here's an example. You know the drill. Put number 1 and then put 3 blanks. And then you're going to put the answer for this note in the first blank, this note in the second blank, and this note in the third blank. And that's in the treble clef. Those are like the notes we started on video 1. Okay, that's your first card. So make sure you've got your answers down for number 1. All right, number 2. And if you need to rewind your video, you can to get these if I don't give you enough time. All right, next is blank 1, blank 2, and blank 3. Now these are your treble clef. Remember, you'll be using Every Good Boy Does Fine and FACE, or there are 2 notes under the staff, which are middle C and D. So make sure you have those answers in your blanks. That's number 2. Okay, and the last one for today. 3 blanks for number 3. This is your first blank. This is your second blank. And this is your third blank. Okay, so write those answers. You ask yourself, is it a line or a space? And if it's a line, you say, every good boy does. So that first letter is a D, so you put that in the blank. Look at your next note. Ask, is it a line or a space? Find your answer. And then, of course, this one comes under the staff. So remember what comes right after middle C. Okay, good job. Well, I've enjoyed spending time with you once again. So far we've worked on rhythm, we've worked on treble clef notes, and we've worked on some of our bass clef notes. I'll give you this week to get secure with the 5-finger position, and then we'll add all of the lines and spaces next time. So I hope you're going to enjoy this beautiful day. I know I am. I'm looking forward to seeing my students in Chester this afternoon. So hope you have a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.